What's up, fam? Hope you're doing well. First of all, thank you for praying for my butthole. I think I'm pretty much good to go. Everything is going crazy, but falling into place all at once. And I just wanted to give you your reminder as a man. No one is coming to save you. No one's coming to help you out. It's on you. But what's great is that you have everything you need to achieve your goals. I'm currently I'm working on like a 28-day project. I got other projects in between those that I'm counting. In this industry, you kind of have to have the appearance of being busy in order to be on top of people's minds. So I'm currently on a movie set. It's kind of a shit show, but it's great experience, great networking. But I'll see if I say that about it, in the next couple weeks. It's crazy. So everything's kind of going on at once, right? I've got a race coming up in November that I'm thinking about postponing. And there's other things that I'm thinking about postponing. But in reality, it's like, what kind of man do I want to be? Am I the man that rises to the challenge and makes things work because I committed to them? Besides my divorce and my marriage. It takes kind of two people to commit to that. But what kind of man am I going to be? How am I going to get my training in, working 12 hours, 14 hours a day? Mornings are hard for me to get up early. If I have work, I can do that. That's one thing. But on Monday, I'm running off of like 5 hours of sleep throughout the, couple days. And then I worked on Saturday. So I worked, all of last week. And then I had a job on Saturday. I got my kids. My mom was able to watch them. And I, Sunday came around. I was going to do a half marathon at 6 when I dropped off my kids. But then I got a last minute project that had to be turned in within 24 hours. And I got it later than I expected. And after I was initially complaining and whining about it, I decided to put my big boy pants on and say, fuck it, How bad do I want this? So I postponed my run. I literally had Band-Aids on my nipples and everything. And then went to work the next morning, got maybe like 6 hours of sleep. Went to work the next morning, got out at 11:30. I got home and I ran a half marathon. While everyone was sleeping, while my enemies were resting, I was running a half marathon. And making that conscious choice, not knowing what time, because we get home 2 hours, 3 hours later, we get the call time for the next morning. So I don't know what time I need to wake up to be ready. So I figured fuck it. If not, the title of my calendar, my running calendar is, if not now, then when? All right, I'm putting in 16 miles this weekend on a long run, and then an 18 mile. Then I'm gonna taper off for a little bit. But if I don't get those 13 miles in, when am I gonna do it? Right, and I'm coming off of this injury. So what kind of man do I want to be? What kind of story do I want to write? Who's gonna carry the fucking boats? No one's gonna come save me. No one's gonna run the miles for me. So I got home at 2 a.m. after running a half marathon, and I had my personal best PR. I finished the half marathon in 2 hours and 22 minutes, which is my personal best. And made me feel incredible, you know? And also made me remember and realize like all the work that I've put in the last year, my body is adapted to doing these runs. But that wouldn't be the case if I didn't start with mile 1, with the first step. Everyone thinks it's extraordinary to run 13 miles, 26 miles, whatever. But in reality, I think it's something that we were all created to do. This is how we got to be the species that we are, because we can outrun our prey. We're not faster than our prey. We're the only species that can run faster at the end of a run than any other species. So we literally ran our prey to death. We would outrun our food until it was exhausted and tired. And that's how we survived. And I think that's also why we've become complacent, because we don't do that anymore. Are you going to make the conscious choice to not give in to being comfortable, not giving in to what society thinks you should be? Or are you going to write your own story? Are you going to put in the work? And it's not going to happen overnight. This shit doesn't happen overnight. What are you going to do? Who's going to carry the boats? I'm listening to Can't Hurt Me, the book, David Goggins, and man, it's fucking insane what the human mind can do and endure. For the longest time, I felt guilty for all the shit I had going on in my life. But then I'm working with people that are very successful, and their life is insane, right? Because they choose to adapt, they choose to show up, and they get rewarded. They get rewarded. Opportunity doesn't land to people that are lucky. It lands to the people that show up the most. So where in your life are you showing up? I'm trying to be there for my kids. I've been driving an hour once a week just to go have lunch with them. Right? You know, people can label me and call me whatever the fuck they want. They can say all this shit. I've always had enemies. I've always been the villain. I don't give a fuck. But I want my kids to know that I'll drive 1,000 miles to see them, that I refuse to abandon them, and to repeat the things that have happened to me. I love my parents. They did the best with what they had. And now it's my choice on how I'm going to rewrite these things. I'm not saying I'm going to be a soft parent or a gentle parent. No, by not all means. Right? But I'm going to choose to pay attention and challenge my boys to be the best versions of themselves. And to also prepare them for the fact that no one's going to save them. Right? If they have goals and dreams, it's up to them to pursue them. I'm here to support them and love them through it. But their destiny's in their hands. And it's my job to prepare them for the world that's out here. Not to shield them from the world, but to prepare them for what the world has. So, I guess my challenge to you is, are you going to continue to be a consumer and watch other people pursue their dreams? Or are you going to start pursuing yours? No one's going to write the book. No one's going to start the YouTube channel. No one's going to start the TikTok. No one's going to buy stocks for you. No one's going to give you a house. I've been thinking lately, what can I do for Fabian, future Fabian today? How can I help him win? How can I stack wins for him? How can I make his life easier in the future? That's it. I'll leave you with that. I love you. Stay another day. Prove them wrong. Revenge is the only success. Peace.